Okay, welcome back. So I'm going to spoon feed you on how to make a few coins on your highest passion. So that is this three specific or two specific videos that I'm making now will be a very general introduction to how you can do things, and then we are going to go more specific into hopefully subjects like feng shui, neuro-linguistic programming. I also have, yes, believe it or not, another background in a big cloth company called H&M, Hennes & Mauritz, where I was trained in how to decorate the shop to make it inviting for the customers. And you only have 3 seconds to capture their attention as they're passing through your window. So far we've talked about your 4th house, and I want to talk a little bit more about that later when it comes to working from home and these kind of things. And if you do have any questions, feel free to comment below, because I have a feeling a lot of you people out there you lack the self-confidence, and you are tired of that bullying boss that grabs your ass or simply complains about everything you do. Now, do not despair, because all bosses, someone owns that business, and those who owns that business, they're human people just like you and me, I think. Okay, so let's start. Let's continue. We've been talking a little about working from home. The dangers here that if you are a little bit like me, undisciplined, because I'm undisciplined, I need to change my affirmations to telling myself first, I'm very, very disciplined. Second of all, I know that there are some faults there. So if I can create my work station away from home, and I have one rule: be there before 12 or be there before 9, whatever suits your business. Some people work better at night, and yes, I've also been working within security as the night guardian, someone going undercover to catch you stealing. Yes. The diversity of the backgrounds. So we are going to move on to the 5th house, and I'm going to use the houses as a reference for where you come out the strongest. Maybe you can even check your chart to find out. So that, well, this is after a tarot channel, so just allow me. 5th house. Well, a unicorn, 7 of fire. So 5th house belongs to the sign of Leo, belongs to the sun. It's all about having fun. So while 1st house is about taking action, it's also about warfare and strategies within warfare, how to, well, get that Trojan horse into the city. The 5th house is the real party house, along with the 7th house. If you have a strong Libra/Leo in your chart, you don't even have to care about astrology and tarot in order to look at this and take my advice for it. Just picture the Leo type as an archetype. Just picture the Libra as an archetype also. So when it comes to the 5th house, that's the place where we make fun. We have fun with children. Perhaps some of you can arrange a party for children. Myself, I will always be a child. I love still collecting toys. I have a very strong 5th house, basically. Blame it on that. And I also love going to theme parks where they spin you around till your coins fall out of your pockets and all that kind of stuff. Everything that is fun, everything that is magical, everything that can take you to another world, that is something people of the 5th house love. So if you are a 5th houser, you are also a performance artist. Now, stay till the end of this video and I tell you the secret It's pretty obvious in your face, but I'll tell you the biggest secrets on how to make money on such a lame thing as dancing, because it's the worst paid job ever. So how can you be rich making money from being a dancer? Are you completely hooked on someone booking you for your performance? Let's have a look at that, shall we? So, before we move on, fifth house is a place where we have fun, where we perform, where we sing, where we dance, and we express ourselves. It's a house of fire. Seven of fire here. Well, that's about defense. So some of you could actually do pretty well within martial art. Learn how to defend yourself. Learn it really well. And you can actually follow me to the end of this video. Okay. Sixth house is about health. It is about work occupation, or some also claim it's your enemies. It is the house of Virgo, and it's ruled by the most intelligent planets of them all, or the knowledgeable one, Mercury, also known as Thoth. So here we have a messenger of air coming in for you. So the messenger of air is someone very young, someone very intelligent, and when this comes to my mind, you remind me that you don't want to work on your construct alone. Now, if you're going to get away with having an employee, what you want to do is basically, if you need an assistant into creating your website, if you need assistance, basically in general, you're going to need assistance if you want to build a really high tower, then this is your man. He gathers intel, he will keep an attention with your competitions and say that, you know, the neighbors are doing this now and it's pretty good, so perhaps you should prepare for that. Okay, and maybe you will have a win-win situation by offering something, you know. I could take an example. One restaurant the other day offered reggae music. It was full. People loved it. People loved reggae. And even me, I was there with my few puny dreads, loving listening to Bob Marley, someone singing reggae. Okay, whatever. And when I got tired of that, I went to the next rock bar where they sing AC/DC old school rock, basically, and I enjoyed that also. So without competing against each other, both the restaurants had a win-win outcome, because there are two different people out there, and someone who digs it all, reggae people, hippies, and all those people with dreads, and you have the rock and roll people. So they both came out pretty well. Now, for those of you who work within the sixth house, if you have a strong sixth house, if you're a sixth houser or Virgo of that sake, you do really well by serving others. You do really well by creating something that has to do with health, that can detox energy, work. The Virgo can be a little bit of a kitchen witch, where we, you know, find certain things in the nature, like, well, what do we have here? Well, it's a smashed scorpion, actually. So, what do you know? We have real ingredients. Of course, you want to grab hold of these quite cheap here in Thailand or other countries. So you can, well, not give them away to other kitchen witches, but you might want to have a giveaway. You basically have a beautiful package with some small samples that you wrap in something like, what do we have it around? Do I have it around? Okay, we do have it around. Like a small packet where you have certain samples of the things you can provide with people, elegantly put in a nice and beautiful bag. Now I have seen people, because how things appear is everything. So that includes my hair. If I want to go do business with really rich people, I do want to change my hair look, and I do want to perhaps maybe change, unless I'm making a record, contract with Napalm Records, I might look like this. If I want to deal with the brokers, I might want to put on a suit. Why? Because you want to report. You want to do a report, and that's when we go back to the linguistic programming again. You want to create a report where you are mirroring your customer or client. Now, how to do this cheap? Well, first of all, in Norway, if you want to employ someone, you're going to have to pay a fee for the employment. You have to make sure that if they get sick, they get paid. And basically, if you are a tiny business, you will get ripped off. Now, another thing to do it is to hire someone like this and ask them, how much will you charge me for making that web page? And in that case, they have their own business. You don't have to pay any employment fee. The only fee you pay them is what it costs you to create this website. Now, of course, we do take care of all the receipts. We have perhaps a credit card, not something I would really recommend, that you only use when it's something related to work, which you write off on your taxes, of course. So if you are traveling somewhere and you need the food and this is your work day, write it off your taxes. If you are hiring someone to do certain things which is important for your work, you write it off. And that's the same thing they do when they are on their way to you. The gasoline, whatever it costs them to work for you or to have you as a client, write them off. Now, 6th house is about health. It is a working place. It is about, this is a very typical, I don't know if you've seen this movie, The Good Witch. It's a TV series where she opens a shop and selling all kinds of oils, herbs, aromatherapy, everything. And most of these things, herbs that you can make tea from, they are growing free for you in the nature. Yes. So let's move on to the 7th house. So we are going to go through the houses before I'm taking you step by step into the introduction of the language we speak, of the feng shui that we use, into the psychology, and yeah, again, stick to the end. Seventh house. 7th house is all about love, partnership, marriage. Clearly, we also find our enemies in this house, apparently, and I've had Pluto there for a long time now. What to do about that? Now, for those of you who are interested in astrology, that too can be quite handy when you're doing stuff like this. Now, there is a messenger of water here that's coming out in reverse. Now, what kind of meaning that has? Well, a message not successfully coming into your presence. Maybe a disappointment. Now, this is not important. This is about the 7th house. So the 7th house rules music, harmony, is ruled by Venus. So using the tarot cards, explaining your entrepreneurship through tarot cards, archetypes, planets is actually a quite wonderful thing to do, having them as a reference in order to keep you right there where you are right now. So one thing you want to be when you are dealing with people is to be clean. The obvious thing: brush your teeth, have a shower, You might look a little scruffy, but the makeup is from today. Your clothes are clean. You smell good. You don't smell like a cheap old perfume. Old Spice. Yes. And this is a place where people are coming out as a little bit minimalistic and yet very stylish. So this is where you will meet people like King and Queen of the Swords, perhaps. You will meet people who are into classical music, and they also collect artwork. They are very, very sophisticated, and they have a very, very beautiful language. You will also meet people who perhaps are working within the court as a lawyer, attorney, these kind of people. They are very much into the justice. So the justice card is also where you will find the 7th house. So what is it that they need from you if you're going to have a client who is also an attorney? Well, first of all, 7 of house is where you can consult people about love, because 90% of the people who are coming to my channel and 90% of the people who wants me to read their cards, they ask about love. What can I do to improve my love life? And well, if you are a kitchen witch as well, there are aphrodisiacs for that. One is called the Spanish fly, and they actually sell that stuff in Morocco. And no comment about that. It's gone. And again, here I'm thinking a lot about the Good Witch. It's a cute family. You know, for children can watch this, adults can watch this, and there's honestly very little magic in it, but a little bit, and you get really inspired from the shop that she runs. So when it comes to the 7th house, if we're going to mirror the 7th house, how this works, it's very, very stylistic. It's very, very minimalistic. And at the same time, it is very beautiful. It's not overdone. It's not suffering under the concept also known as horror vacui, which is fear of open space. So people who have this fear, they will decorate and decorate and decorate and decorate. I have an aunt, her house looks like it comes straight out from the Rococo time. And she's a Libra, ironically enough. Clearly there is some other placements there too. She loves beauty, she loves gold, she loves flowers, she's a romantic, okay? But a real sophisticated archetype of the Libra is the Queen of Swords. She's sophisticated, she's intelligent, she has a high education, she's a lover of music and probably have knowledge about music as well. Now, I don't see a lot of painters who really are Libra, but they do invest in art. And also, if you have a strong Libra on 7th house, you are a poet. So look at this girl who is a Scorpio tropical, but got 5 planets in Libra. And I've never really told this to anyone before, but I do write poetry. And for some reason, I know how to get use of them. So, 7th house, poetry, classical music. In this field, if you have a strong 7th house, perhaps there is something there for you to look into. Someone who are an art curator, or if you want to open an art gallery, 7th house will support you in this. Now, the last house for now, not all this, but the last here is going to be short, is this house of Scorpio. It's about death and transformation. So people who have a strong 8th house, they might have an attraction to death, because, you know, like me, I have the Tibetan Book of the Death, and there is clearly something to the tropical chart as well. Black, death, oh, metal, oh, mysteries, interesting. Okay, so in this house we have a messenger of fire also coming in reversed. So something could stagnate a little bit here. So fire perhaps being put out by water, who knows. Now 8th house is a little bit scary because that is a